What if it's not about a building? What if it's not about stained glass or steeples? What if it's about just Jesus?
Rumor has it if you go to Chick-fil-A and go through the drive-thru or go in and you make a purchase, they won't let the total come to 666. They round it up because, that's God's chicken and they don't mess with the number of the beast, right?
That's awesome. I did not know that was a rumor.
I thought it was a rumor. Then I watched a guy on TikTok and he went through the drive-thru and they upcharged it 667 or went down to 665. I don't remember.
7.
Or no, I take it back. That was one time. Then I watched it again. Another guy tried it and they actually threw in something for free just to mark it up and gave him like a 1 penny for some fries or something.
Wow.
Yeah. They go to big lengths to kind of keep that 666 away.
Dude, I love Chick-fil-A.
Really?
You don't?
I mean, it's all right.
That's God's chicken.
I love that it's God's chicken, but it's not my first choice.
Can we just redo this podcast? Let's start
Yeah.
over. You can't not like
You
Chick-fil-A.
can't say that.
I do like
get us
Chick-fil-A, but it's
crucified.
all right. Yeah, I've just never been a huge fan.
Dude,
Wait, hold on. You have a gluten allergy. Can you even eat the chicken sandwiches?
Yes, and that's one thing. If we do have to go out to a
Oh,
restaurant,
maybe that's it. You just
I can eat the grilled chicken sandwich. They actually let you purchase a gluten-free bun.
Then that's why you don't like Chick-fil-A. It's the fried chicken. You got to get the deep fried chicken. That's where it's at.
No, I can't have any of the fried things.
Okay, then we give you a pass.
Okay, well then good. Yeah, because I'm like, it's just a chicken sandwich.
The
We
grilled
might-
chicking different, but
we really might need to start this over.
woo, that hurt. All right, Beast of the Man, 666, the number of the beast. Corey, you're going to have to lead us in somewhere besides talking about chicken. I went down the wrong path, Savannah.
It just went down even lower.
Maybe I've got the mark. I've got it.
Yeah, I was doubting that until now.
The mark of the beast may actually be whether you like Chick-fil-A or not.
Oh no.
No doubt. Those cows have the mark of the beast.
Yeah, eat more chicken. That's some of the best advertisement, though.
Oh, I think
It
it's
is.
fantastic. It's genius.
I wonder how they came up with that.
Okay, I would like to reverse my statement because I did have a milkshake from there the other day, and it was incredible.
That's not God's chicken, but that's fine.
Well, I've not had God's chicken. I don't know what his chicken tastes like.
That's the problem.
Corey, what do you got for us, man?
Okay. So let's, if you don't care, could we read?
Start over.
Could we read that verse that we've been talking about? And I just like it if we could skim over this surface and kind of work our way into it a little bit because people do freak out. And I would just love for people to know that you either got Jesus or you don't.
Nobody can argue with that. That's awesome.
And if you got Jesus for the love of humanity, for the love of God, you got to walk courageously. You got to walk with power. Not you. You don't realize that you've got an authority that gives you power to bind things on this earth, to loose things on this earth. And, if you get wrapped up and you get around some witchcraft, or you get around some Jezebels, or you get around some black magic, or you get around some, some darkness, you have to realize that God has given us power over all demons. And we have to walk in the strength of that. And you can't just be like walking in power and walking and believing that you're walking in supernatural on one hand. And then you get over here and start talking about, 666. Oh, I'm scared now. Well, you either got power and authority over it or you don't. So I would just encourage people to figure that out.
Dude. Oh, Savannah, you got something? Sorry.
Why are we so afraid of the number, though? Because, they don't even have hotel rooms.
Yeah, no, you're right. And before we get into that, I'm sorry, Savannah, I want to jump on what Corey said. And you're talking about the power. You think about Matthew 5, where Jesus says, you are the light of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about that. You take a flashlight that's 1,000 lumens. and you go outside in a bright day, you can barely see it.
Yeah.
But you take that same flashlight into a dark room, you turn it on, it's blinding.
Man,
That's what we are when we're around the darkness.
that's exactly right. Y'all are about to have to make me another door. People just don't think about. You say, I believe in Jesus. At some point in your life, you are going to have to come face to face with the reality of, if God is for you, nobody can be against you.
Well, if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk.
That's right.
Exactly.
Our light does not come with the dimmer switch to match the tone of the room and the lighting of the room. If you're around that negativity, you're around
Man.
that derogatory stuff, you don't dim your light and say, oh, sorry, guys, I didn't realize what the temperature was in this room. Hang on. let me turn down my light to match everybody here. Or the opposite. You walk into a room, Corey's in there, Sven is in there. Whoa, hold on, guys. I got to turn this up a little bit. Let me turn to my Jesus a little bit more.
They're going to be calling you a Jesus freak before
Dude.
too soon.
You got to be careful. You don't match the tone of the room. God gave you a light. You shine that light no matter what room you're in, but you do it in a way that doesn't offend people. You do it in a way that you can bring Jesus to people, not push people away from Jesus.
Well, I half and half agree with
There you
that.
go, yeah.
I agree that you want to try not to offend people, but sometimes if you are just walking in truth, the Bible said that this is the condemnation. Like, this is the judgment in John 3, that light has come into the world, Jesus.
Mhm.
But men love darkness rather than light. So many times you can walk into people and your light is so great and they feel it's just like a thief. The last person he wants to see is a police officer, because he knows his deeds are evil. The last thing he wants to see is light, because he knows his deeds are evil. He's not trying. So when we come in as Christians, walking with that power, ignited in the fire of God, and we speak that truth, and we walk that truth, and we live that truth, sometimes we offend people, and it's offensive to people. We don't want it to be, but sometimes you just can't help it. And I don't know if you agree with me on that, or if you were just, I know you're overall saying that the number one thing is we got to win souls.
Right, but
Right.
Apostle Paul, he adjusted himself to win souls. He fit in with the people he was
Said, I
around.
became all things to all men.
Exactly, and that's
Yeah.
more of what I meant. You don't want to be so high and mighty and such a Jesus freak, for a lack of a better word, that you push people away like, that's Corey. We can't talk to Corey. He's in a whole nother level of Christ.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I meant. Just
I
you don't
got
want to be
you.
so high that
You don't want to exalt yourself.
Exactly.
And I just wanted to get.
No, you had an excellent point, though. I
Yeah.
agree 100%.
But I agree with you, and you are right. And that takes more of a Christian and more godliness to humble yourself and to turn that light down in that point of view, from that standpoint, to be able to approach people without scaring them to death, or without, driving it down their throat and forcing it. But I was just saying, there's some people that are just evil, and they don't, you will offend people, will get mad at you, people will walk away from you. So you got to, it's on both ends of the spectrum.
Dude, and you're 100% right. You've got to be able to lower yourself to connect, but at the same time, just like Joshua was back when he led the Israelites, and he was talking to all of them and trying to tell them. He said, "For me and my family, we shall serve the Lord."
Yes.
Dude, he didn't ask them. He didn't say, "Well, what are you guys thinking?" Like, me and my family. No, he told them, "This is
that
what we're
okay
doing."
with you?
Yeah, no.
Is that offensive to you?
But that's what we got to connect, but at the same time, we got to stand true to what you said, the truth.
That's what I'm screaming.
And you can't venture away from that. You got to stand for something, and that's Christ, and that's following the good book.
Yeah, it's
People might not always like your answers.
Absolutely. And Sven, I'm so sorry. We got sidetracked, but the mark of the beast, like you said, there's not hotel rooms. Chick-fil-A won't let you check out, paid $666. Corey, we got to bring some light to it. You said to bring up Revelation 13:18, and it says,
It's okay, Stephen. I put myself in timeout earlier from the chicken comment.
it says, let the one with the understanding solve the meaning of the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666.
So this is a real number that's listed in the Bible. We're not just like, we've not come up with this and, created this in our minds.
Exactly. Yes. And I just want us to point out the fact that once again, you don't need to freak out about nothing as a Christian and a child of God walking around in the authority of Jesus Christ. You when you handle 666, you get a receipt in your hand. You freak out or you flip out or you have to, get something added on in the Chick-fil-A.
I've pumped my gas. I've gone just a little extra to get past
I
it.
think everybody's done something like
The point
that.
is that I would like to scream. If you believe in Jesus, that has no power over you. You could lay down in a room full of receipts that say 666 or signs that say 666, and that is not going to affect you.
So it does not bad juju that's going to hurt us.
No. The point is, and I love this so much. When we get to talking about stuff like this and this subject, when the earth and the heavens were created, the Bible says in Genesis that God created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. On the seventh day, God rested. And so many things are about numbers with God. 3, the Holy Trinity. The Bible talks about 12 being also a number of completion, 8 being new beginnings. There are many things. 40 is a very defining factor of change in number, and many 40-day events took place. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, the enemy don't like us talking about what we're talking about because we're taking the fear away.
Choking up our pastor.
But so numbers can be very powerful even in the biblical use and the knowledge of the word in the Hebrew scrolls. And in the Hebrew and the Greek, many things are represented by numbers. The words are words and numbers, letters and numbers. So numbers are very powerful with God, and He uses them in many supernatural ways. But 6 is a number of humanity, because humanity is always, even from the garden and the beginning, is falling short of everything God has. Falling short. Man, we've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Everything that we could ever do, everything that we could ever succeed in or overcome in and work in with ourselves, like all of the books that we could read and all of the college degrees that we could have and all of the knowledge that we could accumulate, none of that means anything to God. The world, by wisdom, the wisdom of the world, the wisdom of man, the 6, it means nothing to God. The world, by its own wisdom, does not know God. You have to be transformed. The Bible says, by the renewing of your mind. And that is, you either have Jesus or you don't.
So it's the 666. It's nothing we're going to catch. It's not like a flu or a cold or a virus. I mean, it's something you have to intentionally seek after.
It is
And that's almost like a
it is
yeah.
it is absolutely about the part of humanity that is dreadfully wicked, full of blasphemings and speaking against God and having no fear or understanding of God and wanting none and almost mocking God and the people that do this. Like when they made fun, I won't go into detail, but when they made fun of the Last Supper and they made the picture and put it up, and it was the exact opposite of the Last Supper, of the Lord's Supper, of the certain people that were literally mocking the Lord's Supper. And I'm just saying, it is these kind of people that the Bible even talks about. God will give them over to an unbelieving mind. They walk in literal deception. And they don't want truth. It's like Jesus when he looked at the Jewish leaders and he said, and we've said this before, he said, why do you not understand my speech? I'm talking plainly. My words are coming out clear. Why can you not understand? Why do you stop your ears and you close your eyes? Man, we've said it a lot. And I love it. Charles Spurgeon. There's no man as blind as the man who chooses not to see. There's no one as blind as the person, there's no one as deaf as the person who chooses not to hear. So it's going to come to a place that either you are choosing Jesus and you're going to have to walk in that with authority and with power, and to know that God has made you the head and not the tail. God has made you to walk over and given you the power to walk over serpents and scorpions and all the power of the enemy. And 666 is just that. It doesn't matter if you brush by it. It doesn't matter if you take hold of it. God knows what's in your head and what's in your heart and what's in your hand. And what you have power over is exactly that. From the very beginning, the serpent, the evil fiend himself, we have power and authority over that. And God has given us that. And the 666 is simply, it is the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's boards. It is the elite of humanity that has come against God and representing everything that comes short of God. When we talk about 666, we go from he created everything in 6 days, then on the seventh day he rested. Well, Jesus said, if any man will come to me who is heavy laden, heavy burdened, I will give him rest. This ain't a rest like you go lay down and take a nap for 20 minutes and you feel better. This ain't a rest like you go to bed and you wake up feeling better. This is an eternal rest, a rest that is representative of the number 7 of completion. Like you are living this life and you are alive, but you ain't working. You're not trying to fight like an eagle fighting against the wind and flapping crazy wings and doing it. It's literally soaring because the wind is carrying it now. So everything you was fighting over and everything you was the victim for and everything you fell under, when you get Jesus, when you find number 7 and you find the rest, You take flight. You take what Isaiah said. You mount up with wings as eagles. You run and you are not weary. You walk and you are not faint. And not 666 or no other part of humanity. God said, fear no man who can destroy the body, and there ain't nothing else he can do. Because see, when you die, you still live. You ain't got nothing to be afraid of. We don't have no fear. God is saying, fear not. Fear not. 365 times in his Bible, in his word, he says, do not fear. I am with you. I will never leave you. If you see a 666 or you get a receipt back or somebody writes down something, a note or something, and it says 666, that has no power over you, nor can it get in you if you're a child of the living God. Peter said, how many times shall we forgive him, Lord, if my brother sins against me? 7 times. And God said, no. 70 times 7. 7. 7. 7. 7. It's eternal. It's completion. It's over and it's over and over and over. You are complete. You are completely at rest through God, with authority and with power over every demonic, dark, devilish force walking on this earth. And you, my friend, whoever you are, if you have called on Jesus and believe in your heart and confess with your mouth, you are a new creature. The Bible said, old things are passed away, and look, I have made all things new. You are complete. You are walking around a 777, and 6 has no power over you. Be blessed.